If you have just got yourself a very fancy bike like this Pinarello Dogma, then what wheels should you put on it? Well, not too long ago, we compared some of the most expensive and best wheels out there in the world. However, we then received a little call from Syncros, who said, you haven't included ours in your lineup. Do you want to go? And we said, yes, please. We have tested hundreds of carbon wheel sets here at road.cc, starting from 500, 600 quid for some of the more budget options, all the way up to, I think the most expensive set is £4,800 for a set of Princeton carbon works. Now, obviously that is a huge variation, but no matter whether you're spending 4 grand, 3 grand, 2 grand, 1 grand, or a few hundred quid, they all seem to have a few things in common. They have a wide carbon rim. They have aluminium spoke nipples to keep the weight down. They have steel spokes to be able to cope with that high tension, and a lightweight aluminium hub. However, these Syncros wheels, they buck the trend. Let's go and take a closer look.
The Capital SLs have 16 carbon spokes in the front and 16 carbon spokes in the rear. That's the minimum number allowed in UCI events. The rims themselves are 40mm deep and have an internal width of 25mm. They are hookless, which is sure to ruffle some feathers, and it's DT Swiss that are to thank for the internals. Our test set came with 28mm Schwalbe Pro 1 Aero tyres fitted, although we have of course also tried them out with others.
Well then, it's clear that these are like no other wheels currently on the market. And in Syncros's words, you can ride the future. How do they ride though? Let's find out. What that one-piece carbon design means is that these wheels are very light. Despite being 40mm deep, they have a claimed weight of 1,170 grams. And on our scales, they weren't far off, 1,202 grams with the tubeless valves installed. That is class leading whichever way you look at it. Now you might expect me to say that this means I can climb loads faster. Unfortunately, I don't think saving 100 grams from anywhere is going to make you much faster up climbs. You'd probably be better off going for a wee before going up one. Although saving 100 grams off of your wheel set might not make you noticeably faster up climbs, it is still a really good place to try and save weight, especially off the rims. Why? Well, because the more rotational weight you get rid of, the less inertia you've got, and therefore the faster it accelerates. And that is where these wheels really shine. You put the power down and these accelerate like not really anything else I've ever ridden. So I touched on stiffness a bit earlier. I don't like using wishy-washy words in my reviews, but they do feel really tight. These wheels just make it feel more direct. I know that that's gonna anger some people in the comments, but I'm struggling to find another way of describing it. I guess what it comes down to is if you have an aluminium wheel set on a stock aluminium wheel set on your bike and you upgrade them to a carbon wheel set, you get that noticeable improvement in how everything just feels a bit more well put together. Your power feels like it's being transferred to the road. Put these on and it feels like another step up. That's the easiest way I can explain it. I've been lucky enough to use these wheels for a few weeks now, so what is my final verdict? They are in some ways absolutely exceptional. They are amazingly light, they are surprisingly comfortable, they're very responsive, and I've also been pretty impressed with the aero performance. Did they score a 10 out of 10 then? No, they didn't. Did they score a 9 out of 10? No, they didn't. I think I'm going to give these an 8 out of 10 on the road.cc website. Why? Well, I just don't know who's going to buy them. They are an extremely good wheel set, perhaps the best I've ever ridden. They are, however, £4,000. And if you're buying a £4,000 wheel set, do you really want them to be easier to break than any other? despite these wheels being very good, I would not race on these wheels. Why? Because in races, unfortunately, crashes happen. And in a crash, it's all too easy to break a spoke. That's not normally too much of a problem. You break a spoke, you take it to your local bike shop, or you do it yourself, and you replace it. Bosh, your 2.5 grand wheel set is back up and running in just a few days. You break a spoke on one of these, and have you written off the wheel? Possibly. Syncros do say that they have a chain of people who recommended to do small repairs on them, but if you snap a few spokes, then I'm sorry, but I think it's writing off the wheel. Now, in fairness, I should mention that Syncros do a crash replacement program. It's about 50% off in the first year, and then it's tiered, so every year after that it gets less and less. So, in conclusion, absolutely amazing wheel set. I'm very glad that I've got to ride them. I think that they are an excellent example of what is possible when you throw away the rule book and you don't listen to the fact that you have to use steel spokes and use 20 of them. And back in the day, I used a set of lightweights, which are the only other wheel set that I've used with this one-piece sort of carbon design, and they were stiff as a board. They felt like I was going to lose my teeth on every bumpy road. These, very comfortable. So each of the spokes supposedly acts as a bit of a leaf spring, so it's not actually under that much tension. And I'll tell you what, even on the lanes that we've been riding today and that I've been riding over the last few weeks, these feel more comfortable than most other wheel sets. And for a performance wheel set that feels this laterally stiff, that is thoroughly impressive. So yeah, well done Syncros. Keep up the good work, and can't wait to see what you come up with next. There is of course one staple of every wheel review that we haven't yet done: freehub sound check. DC Swiss internals, so sounds like every other wheel. So what do you think of these Syncros wheels? Let us know in the comment section below, as well as any others that you think we should test next. As always, if you enjoyed this content, then please give it a like, subscribe to the channel for lots more bike content, and we'll see you next time.